South Park just uncovered Meghan's deleted past. And trust me, it's juicier than a royal scandal at 3 a.m.
It's the worldwide privacy tour. Come on. We want privacy. We want privacy.
Imagine going from game show briefcases and vision boards to Buckingham Palace photo ops, only to have half your story mysteriously vanish along the way. Yep, South Park isn't buying the perfect princess edit, and they're pulling receipts that Meghan probably hoped stayed buried. From her deal or no deal days, glittery goals and awkward speeches, to some suspiciously well-timed rebrands, every missing piece is suddenly back on the table. And let's just say, the way South Park connects Meghan's Netflix deals, canceled projects, and those oddly polished humanitarian headlines will leave you asking, did Meghan reinvent herself or delete her way to royalty?
Look, Kyle, we just kind of don't care about some dumb prince and his stupid wife.
So, what did South Park really dig up? And how much of Meghan's past was carefully hidden from us? Let's break it all down.
I'm sick of hearing about them, but I can't get away from them. They're everywhere, in my face.
Before Meghan was crying on Netflix and writing about authenticity like it was a trademarked word, there was another version of her story, one that South Park decided to dig up in the most chaotic way possible. It didn't start with a royal wedding or an Oprah interview. It all started in the middle of the night when Cartman barged into Stan's room wearing a plastic tiara and screaming that he had uncovered Meghan Markle's deleted past. In classic South Park style, he pulled out a dusty VHS tape labeled Royal Highness, Take One, and shoved it into the VCR. On screen, a young Meghan appeared wearing a Burger King crown and ordering her friends to call her Queen Meggles. Cartman declared it was the origin story of a grifter, setting the tone for the chaos that followed.
I went online to see what was new with Uncle Harry and Auntie Meghan, and I couldn't find a thing. I would have thought she'd have at least popped up in a tampon commercial by now.
Soon, the entire gang was involved. Cartman, Kyle, Kenny, and Butters, piecing together Meghan's so-called past like amateur detectives. Kenny dug up a childhood blog post where Meghan promised at age 11 that she would make her school proud when she became rich and famous. Kyle was baffled, asking, who makes PR promises before puberty? From there, the floodgates opened. Cartman unearthed her old deal or no deal clips and forced everyone to shout, "Duchess!" every time she appeared on screen holding a briefcase. Kenny, between fits of laughter, called it briefcase to broadcast, and Butters chimed in with his own joke, "Deal or no Duchess?" The boys began connecting the dots. Meghan hadn't stumbled into royalty by accident. There were yachts, vision boards, staged charity events under humanitarian lighting, and countless red carpet appearances that all looked like calculated steps toward the crown.
Canadians are finding it hard to go on. All Canadians, that is, except for our first guest, the prince and his wife. We want privacy.
The discoveries got weirder. The kids found clips of Meghan's minor soap opera roles, including one where she was literally credited as Clipboard Girl. They even uncovered footage from acting classes where she practiced fake crying, which Cartman mocked mercilessly, pretending to ask which eye the tears should fall from. Then Kyle found the smoking gun, an old version of Meghan's Wikipedia page that listed her as a model and soap actress. Right before she met Harry, it suddenly updated to humanitarian. Kyle shook his head and said, she rebranded harder than Cartman's failed chicken franchise.
They only offered me friend of the housewives for next season.
Oh, shit. They Vicky Gumbelsoned you.
How do you even know who... I need a drink.
That's when the infamous Soho House theory came out. Meghan had attended an elite event in Istanbul in 2015, an event that just so happened to include Prince Harry, who arrived 2 days early for his tour. Cartman, pacing like a detective, insisted it was a setup, ranting that Meghan baited him with roasted chicken and lip gloss. Kyle sealed the theory by pulling up the seating chart, which showed Meghan placed right next to Misha Nonu, a designer married to one of Harry's closest friends. This wasn't fate, Kyle said. This was networking in heels.
I have to start auditioning again.
You were on the very famous show Suits. More popular in the States than even Friends, you told us.
The clues piled higher. Meghan once admitted in a podcast that she cried into a bowl of quinoa, which Cartman immediately labeled proof that she was a Pinterest board with tear ducts. The boys then discovered a photo of teenage Meghan posing outside Buckingham Palace. Kyle completely lost it, shouting, "She planned this since she was 12!" They dubbed the whole thing the Royal Ruse timeline. From there, the past unfolded like a parody of Ambition. Meghan's lifestyle blog, The Tig, featured interviews with chefs she seemed more interested in dating than profiling. A post titled, "How Chicken Changed My Life," had the boys howling, with Cartman cracking jokes about her ghosting her ex-husband over poultry. That led directly into the infamous FedEx story, where Meghan allegedly mailed her wedding ring back to her first husband. Butters got emotional, while Cartman collapsed in laughter, screaming that she prime-shipped her marriage like a broken Nutri-Bullet.
Look, I love you and I'm willing to do whatever I need to do in order to be with you, Meghan.
Well, I think it's important we do this ourselves, Harry, and not live off your family.
I agree. We'll just have to find a way to make £50 billion on our own.
The deeper they went, the more absurd it became. Meghan's speech at the UN Women's Conference sounded suspiciously close to Eleanor Roosevelt's, with Kyle pointing out line-for-line similarities and dubbing it Ctrl-C feminism. The bath salt scandal came next. Her signature lavender soak allegedly left one customer with burns. Cartman, exasperated, shouted, "How do you screw up lavender?"
Harry, congratulations, old man. I just found out you had a son.
Daughter, but thank you.
Son, and you didn't just find out. Is it me?
By now, the gang realized Meghan's past wasn't truly deleted. It was just heavily edited. Every blog post, every speech, every staged moment was part of a carefully curated rebrand. Kyle counted one interview where Meghan used the word authentic 17 times in under 5 minutes. They imagined her kids someday buried under 40,000 unread emails titled Mommy's Vibes. And when they found a gift basket signed with compliments from Her Royal Highness, long after her title was revoked, Cartman compared it to signing texts Eric of Snacklandia.
You see, my wife and I are totally like, you should write a book because your family like stupid and then so are like journalists.
In the end, the boys pieced it all together. Meghan's journey wasn't random. It was a masterclass in rebranding from game show model to Duchess. The crying, the speeches, the humanitarian glow, it all seemed designed. Cartman announced he would launch a docuseries called The Duchess Downloaded, insisting that the crown was always part of the code. The episode wrapped with the gang acknowledging that Meghan's deleted past wasn't gone, it was just photoshopped into a glossy narrative. Cartman promised more episodes of his imaginary series. Kenny mumbled about briefcase to broadcast, and Butters still felt bad about the FedEx story. South Park left the audience laughing, cringing, and realizing once again that when it comes to ambition and image, nothing is too absurd for parody.